What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother AB for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. He has a question. He just wanted my opinion on something. He said, does this scandal affect Kawhi's Hall of Fame potential to you? Love the content. Salute to you, brother, for showing love, man. I truly appreciate it. Oh, man, this if it was up to me, I think that this should have some. Honestly, if it was up to me, I think that he should be banned from the Hall of Fame as a punishment. If it was up to me, okay. I don't think he's an honorable person, and I think his contract should be voided, and I think he should be blackballed or whiteballed from the NBA. From the NBA, that's what I think. That's what I want to happen. But what I want to happen isn't necessarily what's going to happen. First of all, the NBA is a lot different from Major League Baseball. Now, Major League Baseball is very, very hypocritical in how they operate, because they profess to have a moral code, but when the checks are coming in, they can conveniently look the other way, like it did during the '90s and and a lot of the 2000s during the home run steroid era. They knew what was going on, but they looked the other way. Then when those players were no longer marketable or valuable to them as they aged out or retired, then all of a sudden they got religion, and all of a sudden, you started seeing the demands for via the congressional investigations into baseball and steroid use and the sacrificial lambs of Bonds and Clemens and the other guys who haven't been in the Hall of Fame, although their numbers show they should be in the Hall of Fame, like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and Manny Ramirez and what's the other guy? Rafael Palmeiro and some others, right? But baseball has always had commissioners who were appointed going back to all the way to Kennesaw Mountain Landis to be both commissioner and almost like a Judge Roy Bean type position. Like, yes, they're a commissioner, but they also were appointed to have some almost to be a moral authority, to clean up something that was going on in baseball. The late, great A. Bartlett Giamatti, who was commissioner not very long, he banned Pete Rose for life, and that's what they did ultimately, because he broke one of their rules. He broke one of their cardinal rules about gambling. Okay. Adam Silver is way too, first of all, he's way too wimpish, way too mawkish, actually way too milquetoast to do any of those things. Right? I believe he's corrupt. I think he's the worst commissioner in sports history. He's destroyed the game. And if the NBA were to investigate this situation themselves, they probably would come away with hiding evidence and showing that nothing was ever done that was illegal. So these type of situations need a third party investigating. But the problem is, I think if you really, really looked into this situation, you would probably find that the NBA knew a lot of shit, but they covered it up. So as far as knowing what was going on with Steve Ballmer and these under the table payments. Because Kawhi Leonard is such a huge star, and because the NBA is already struggling with so many other different things, the product, the ratings are down, I think that Adam Silver and company, they look the other way. So what I'm trying to get at is, I really don't think that this is going to affect Kawhi Leonard's Hall of Fame induction. I don't. I think at the very most, what may happen, because he has missed a lot of fucking games, right? He may not get in his first year of eligibility, almost like as a protest and a nod to those who think he should be penalized in some way. When you combine this scandal, plus the fact this guy had the nerve to miss all these games, there should be some type of punishment. And they're probably not going to let him get in the Hall of Fame, his first year eligibility. And then they'll probably have him get in his next year or what have you. I think what's going to have to happen is it's going to have to be an all-out media campaign against Kawhi Leonard. It can't just be us content creators on social media. It's going to take the mainstream sports media to make this a huge story. And that's what his hinges on. And unless that happens, I don't think it's going to affect his Hall of Fame potential. Not in a significant way. That's not what I want to happen. But I'm coming from a place of reality. Because in one way, if you suspend Kawhi Leonard for his transgressions, right, then people are going to say, well, what about Steve Ballmer? Why is he not being penalized? Why is he not being fined? Why is there no demand because of his unscrupulous behavior as an owner, breaking the rules? Why is he not being forced to sell the team? So ultimately, I don't think it's going to affect his Hall of Fame potential. That's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think.